fire. It's on the... Ah! He made it! Oh my...
The Northwestern Raiders. Sorry, just making sure our audio is ready to go for game number 2 here. It's Preston Husband, it's Ryan Holzapple, and this should be a really good game. Two coaches that are extremely familiar with each other. Northwestern, they're 25-5. Graceland right behind them at 24-7. This is the 6-11 matchup in this pod. Huntington moved on in game number 1, the host school. And man, we've had a fun night already here in Platt Arena, and we're expecting to have another good one. These teams are really, really good.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a really solid all-around team for both of them. They have their star players, as every team does, but they really feed off of the energy of every other guy on their team, and it really will see which team plays better overall that will together and just really uses that teamwork will win this one.
A couple of the star players to talk about, and one's back in action tonight. That's Alex Van Kalsbeek, who has been out for a few weeks. He's had a couple of broken foots in his career. We're not exactly sure what's going on with that for Northwestern, but we also know on the other side, they've got a pretty good 6'5" guard forward as well. That's Cole Bowen from Colorado Springs, Colorado. He's averaging 17.4 points per game to go along with 9.3 rebounds. So it's a big, big matchup tonight, and those are kind of the two players to watch to see what they can do. Van Kalsbeek right there in front of you on your screen. He's got over 2,600 career points. He's approaching 900 rebounds. He's done it every single year. Unfortunately, he's battled injuries, but he's back for the national tournament. That's what you want if you are our coach, Chris Korber.
Absolutely, and one of the reasons they were able to make it as high as they did up to the 6th seed is actually the brother of Alex Van Kalsbeek, and that's Jesse Van Kalsbeek, who's also been incredible for this Northwestern Raider team so far this season, averaging around 20.8 points per game, 8.9 rebounds, 2.6 assists, shooting almost 60% from the field and 37 from 3. He is an absolute dynamic player, and they just have that 1-2 punch combo with those brothers, and they're looking to make an impact here in this first round of the NAIA tournament.
Chris Korber is in his 25th year with Northwestern. He's won 2 national championships. He has been a tremendous hire from them all the way back in 2000, 2001. In his first year won a national championship. Let's take a look at the bracket here in the Naismith quadrant. This is in Huntington, Indiana, of course. Huntington has already moved on, so the winner of this game will play either Northwestern or Graceland tomorrow at 6 p.m. here inside Platt Arena. That first game really dominated by Huntington. We expect this one to be a little closer, but you never know. It's March, weird things can happen, and we'll see who comes out on top.
Yeah, our little own March Madness tournament going on here in the NAIA, and we are set to kick things off here between the Graceland Yellowjackets and the Northwestern Raiders.
So just about set for tip. First, we will introduce you to the starting lineups for both teams. You're going to go ahead and see some of those on your screen right now. First, it will be Graceland, and once I can get some live stats loaded in Platt Arena, I'll tell you who's going to be starting for Graceland this evening. Already we have a ton of viewers from Iowa. We were told by Northwestern's head coach and Graceland's head coach, they're going to be fans. There's going to be watch parties to watch this one. Take a look and see who will be starting for Graceland tonight. It's number 22. And wearing that jersey, 23, excuse me, is Carter Brown, 6'5" senior. That's number 22, Cole Bowen. We already talked about him. 1,000-point scorer in his career. He's jumped around a few schools. He came over to Graceland from Mount Marty with their head coach, Coach Lorenzen, and he'll be the player to watch. This Graceland team is very old. This is also Miaje Wiley out of Omaha, Nebraska, who will get the start. And then 2 more rounding off the starting lineup for the Yellowjackets. That will be Micah Lambert, and then the last starting lineup piece to the puzzle will be number 0, Darius Davis. I'm sorry if that was a little rough getting through starting lineups, but we'll get this figured out. We having some issues with live stats in Platt Arena, and that's kind of been up and down here in this first few hours, but we'll get that going here in a moment. This Graceland team, they're 24-7. Coach Lorenzen, he's been in a lot of different spots. They play in the Heart of America Conference. He's got a great roster, and they play simple basketball, but they also play a little different than this Northwestern team. They want to make things hectic tonight against the Red Raiders.
Yeah, they like to get out, and like you said, I think hectic is a perfect way to describe the way that they like to play, especially on the offensive end. They really like to move it around with some erratic ball movement, try and catch the opposing team's defense off guard, and they're usually able to get to their spots because of the way they like to play offense. A very aggressive defensive team as well, and we'll see if their fundamentals are enough to pull off the upset here against Alex Van Kalsbeek and the Northwestern Raiders.
Van Kalsbeek, you'll hear that a lot tonight. It's Jesse, the freshman, who's GPAC Freshman of the Year. He's joined by Alex Van Kalsbeek, the all-time leading scorer at Northwestern. He's had a tremendous career, and it just keeps getting better and better. He's got one more year left as well, so he's going to end up scoring 3,000 points. He's joined out there by number 30. That is on the court for Northwestern, Zach Lefebvre. And then Langsy will be out there as well. He was averaging 17.7 points per game as a freshman this year, and he didn't win Freshman of the Year. He's incredible. Last one's Caleb Booth. This team leads the country in three-point and field goal percentage. They're an offensive powerhouse, scoring around 90 points per game, and we'll see if they can keep that up tonight here in Huntington, Indiana. Take a look at Platt Arena, completely renovated, brand new video screen, brand new seating. We've got all sort of amazing new features to Platt Arena. It's a big reason why we can play tonight. I guess we are going to stand, and we're going to have a word of prayer before we start this one tonight. We'll be right back for the start of Graceland and the Red Raiders of Northwestern.
Well, before we start, like, you just wanted to say your name.
My name is Beyonce Paulina. I go by Paco. Like most people know me as Paco. So this is my senior year. So like I can't really even remember not playing baseball or how it's like not playing baseball. The biggest thing I think for sure is like being able to have something that I can go to and not focus on like real life stuff. Back home, my mom for sure watches, my dad, my sister sometimes whenever they can. It feels good because like last year I had a rough year. I was never the best hitter on the team, never. Last year, hitting wise, wasn't good at all. Like that hit me because like I felt like I wasn't helping the team out coming to this year. It was like a big motivation for me. Like my plane landed, the next day I was already in the gym, the next day. I come from Curacao, like 125,000 people. Indiana's bigger probably than my country. So like, it's really different. We speak Papiamentu, which is like 3 islands speaks that language in the whole world. All my family is over there. I have no family here, but I feel like I was able to manage fine. To be honest, like I haven't even like put too much thought behind it. Like this is gonna be my last year. I think I'm super focused on like having a good year, like helping my team out this year. That I'm not even focusing on like what's gonna come after it, like how I'm gonna go by life. Like I really haven't put too much thought behind it, but I know I'm like a motivated guy. Like I can like lifting, like I probably find a way to like be a part of like a baseball team, like coaching or whatever. Like I know I'm gonna like do something like that. Mi nombre es Beyonce Paulina. Yo conocí como Paco, doing baseball. Probably need a base start, pero sí, esforzados in there.
As the owner of JJ's, I invite you to visit one of our 7 BP convenience stores. And when you do, I expect you will experience hometown excellence in the cleanest and friendliest convenience stores in your community. Please also consider visiting JJ Java for the best cup of coffee in town, or JJ's Pit Stop for a quick, no appointment necessary professional oil change. Also, if you ever need a clean, efficient,
Ready and set for tip-off between Graceland and Northwestern College. Both teams from Iowa ready to roll. We're expecting a heavyweight battle between these two. Two coaches familiar with one another. Lorenzen has been in the GPAC before. Chris Korver's been there for 25 years. Alex Van Kalsbeek, first action in quite some time, tries to go baseline with the spin move and scores first two of the night.
And that is just ridiculous footwork there from Alex Van Kalsbeek, and a really pretty move, gets an easy bucket inside, and they're gonna go to him a lot here early in this game.
Quick whistle on Zach Lefebvre, who's called for one inside. Lefebvre, a senior forward from Carroll, Iowa, averaging 8.1 points per game at 6'5". Looks like he will have the test of guarding number 22, Cole Bowen, who's the best player for Graceland. Graceland tried dumping that one inside. Kick's gonna be called. Good defense by Caleb Booth. These two teams, they play a little bit of a different style. And talking with Coach Lorenzen, he's not going to necessarily change the pace of the game, but they are going to make basketball plays when they can and find the rhythm that they can come out and play against this tough Northwestern team.
Yeah, and they really need to see this guy get going here early, number 22. He really needs to get going, and Northwestern's defense not allowing the Yellowjackets get anything going here. They need to get their offense through either Wiley or Bowen. One of those two have to step up here and get a bucket for them early.
Alex Van Kalsbeek knocking in that first shot. Does like to put it on the floor at 6'6". Inside, this is Jesse now, freshman of the year in the GPAC, averaging nearly 21 and 9. Kick pass, Alex back inside to his brother Jesse, who scores an easy two right at the rim.
And the Van Kalsbeek brothers, they are going to dominate the paint all night long. That's where they're going to keep attacking. These Graceland bigs are going to be tested, and we'll have to see if they're up to it.
Bowen back to the rim, nice backside rebound. It's missed right at short range by Darius Davis, but the three is good on the backside by Carter Brown.
That's a huge shot there. Get the scoring going here for the Yellowjackets, and if they're able to grab those offensive rebounds, those are going to be some of the easiest shots they could get.
Turnover by Northwestern. This is some of the pace that Graceland can run with. Kick it back out and slow things down. They want to move the ball just like that, but Bowen missed maybe one of the easiest shots he'll get tonight.
Yeah, you cannot miss those easy cut layups right there. I mean, there was nothing the Raiders could do there to stop that shot, and an unfortunate miss and the travel right there as he lost his footing.
And that's exactly what Corey Alford wanted the first game for the Foresters. He knows this floor might get a little slick after game one, and that's maybe an example of that right out of the gate. We'll try to catch up on some of these comments and say hello to you. Continue to comment, though. Tell us where you're watching from. Preston husband Ryan Holzapple, sorry for that bunched up pregame. We had a game right before this, kind of run around, eat some dinner. We're ready to go for you guys and the Yellowjackets and the Red Raiders. Another three on the way. Same guy trying to fire away. Carter Brown couldn't get that one to go. 41% from deep on the year. Jesse inside. Van Kalsbeek has combined for all six. The brothers doing what they do.
Absolutely, and there's a reason he was freshman of the year. He was keeping this team afloat throughout the end of their season with the way that Alex wasn't being able to play some games for them. Jesse was doing everything, and these brothers are just so good. You can call them that dynamic duo because they really are a dynamic duo on the court.
Kick pass, Lefebvre will go baseline, swings it to the corner, and that was tipped away off the back of Carter Brown. And we'll see the first sub of the night for either side. That's Jai Smith checking in from Pontiac, Michigan, averaging 6.3 points per game. Donnie Smith watching from Kansas City. Will Harder watching from Storm Lake, Iowa. We've been told there's watch parties going on. There's over nearly 600 live viewers watching tonight. These two really great teams. Alex Van Kalsbeek is perfect from the field with another tough two.
And 4 points for both of the brothers, and right now Graceland needs to find an answer for the brothers as they are just dominating inside, and it looks like the Graceland Yellowjackets are helpless.
Inside move, pass out to Bowen. Thinking about a three on the left side was Lamberth. Instead, it's an easy two for Bowen.
And what a great backdoor cut right there. Lost his defender and no one was there to meet him at the rim, and didn't blow the easy layup that time and gets his scoring going.
They continue to just post both Van Kalsbeek brothers inside and try to exploit those matchups, and they've done it here early, and it's going to take guys like Lamberth and Wiley inside, who are 6'3", 6'5", to really battle against these big, strong 6'6" brothers. Northwestern moving it. Langsy is deadly from deep, and he starts his night like he's had his entire year going.
Yeah, you cannot leave Langsley open for three. He will absolutely hurt you from there, shooting around 46% from three, which is just an incredible percentage, and Graceland has got to do a better job guarding that perimeter player.
Another turnover. Langsy, who I mentioned, averaged 17.7 points per game as a freshman. 51% from the field, 46% from deep. He didn't win Freshman of the Year in his conference because his teammate did.
Yeah.
That's how good this Northwestern team has been.
Yeah, there's a reason they're a 6 seed. This is a very talented roster. Like you said, mostly an offensive team. So it's going to be really fun to see this team work here.
Langsy tries driving to the rim. Bowen clears the miss. You can see Langsy can do that as well. He can get to the rim and create his own shot. Bowen, again, Brown, long triple, has 2 already to make it a 3-point game.
And Brown averaging around 10 points on the season and already up to 6. He's been a huge player for this Graceland team as he's keeping the score close right now.
Jesse floats one over the top. There it is again. We're going right at Lamberth, who just doesn't have that same streak as Jesse Van Kalsbeek.
Yeah, and Jesse's going to exploit that matchup all night long. You can already tell he's already trying to, and what a drive there from Darius Davis.
Davis from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, played some time at Howard College. Just made 11 threes this season. That's what he does. He drives and cuts and gets shots right around the rim. Langsy against Davis now. Jesse Van Kalsbeek, swing pass. That one was way short, picked off right in the center of the court by Lamberth. It might have hit the net.
Yeah, it definitely looked like something messed up the pass there. Maybe didn't get it off as clean as he wanted to, and another 3 there as Brown is really trying to carry the offensive load here early.
199 of his 220 shots this year have come from 3, so he's out there to really spread the floor and knock in some triples. We've seen it already. Skip pass, Caleb Booth, haven't said much of his name. LaFave takes one corner 3, that's off the mark, and it falls right into the hands of Jai Smith.
And you can really tell just from these last 2 offensive plays from the Raiders, they are really at their best when they have one of the Van Kalsbeek brothers in the post. That's where they get their offense from, and they need to keep going to that if they're going to score, because their offense has been dry without them touching the ball.
Yellowjackets force a tough shot. Langsy walks right into a 3, and if you're going to leave him, he's going to make it.
Yeah, he walked away before that 3 even went in. He knew exactly. He knew exactly where that was going, and that's into the bucket, and he is on fire from 3, and they already want to take a timeout, and I believe it's the media timeout.
It will be a media timeout. It's another careless turnover by the Yellowjackets. One too many of those here early. We'll be right back on FDN Sports for more of the first half action.
Bippa State Bank is a cornerstone of the community. Our banking building blocks were assembled in 1911 and haven't differed much since then. We still stay true to our local roots, aiming to support, uplift, and celebrate the citizens and businesses of Huntington. As proud lenders to and patrons of our local businesses, we make our community an even more prosperous place. And when you support local banking, you play an important role in Huntington's success stories. No matter what financial products you may need, your business is an invaluable opportunity for us to strengthen our relationship with Huntington, which we're fortunate enough to call home. Bippa State Bank is banking at its best. We believe in community banking.
I saw Forester Camp when I was at school.
Back here for first half NAIA tournament action in Huntington, Indiana. We're in Platt Arena. It's the Yellowjackets of Graceland and the Raiders of Northwestern College. Man, I'll tell you what, for being a football state, these Iowa folks, they're in our comments letting us know where they're watching from. We really appreciate you guys tuning in and checking out our game tonight. You guys have been great already. 616 live viewers. We hope you're enjoying your view from your couch, your watch party, your car when you're driving, which you shouldn't be, but we appreciate you tuning in and checking us out here tonight. Of course, whoever wins this game will have tomorrow's game streamed as well, 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern time, so it's 5 o'clock for a lot of our viewers tonight. And we will be bringing all the action here in Platt Arena. This is the first time ever Huntington University's been able to host. Alex Van Kalsbeek had that stripped away, but got it right back. Passes it to Langsy, who's already got 2 triples. Now looking for a 2, finds a cutter. Good passing, 3-ball on its way and short. It's a good look for Carson Bush from Lincoln, Nebraska. Excuse me, looking at the wrong team. Connor Geddes from Harrisburg, South Dakota, missed his first 3. Jai Smith out there working the point. Right now, Graceland team has to find some offense. This is a good guy to go to as Bowen is fouled on his way to the rim, and a couple of free throws coming his way.
And a really solid spin move right there. Absolutely lost Booth and then got tripped up as he went up, and that's a really solid play from Bowen, and they look to him to score, and he does exactly that.
I'm just messing with you guys about the football state. I know you had Caitlin Clark. I saw Northwestern's team on social media. They tried to go and remake the record-breaking shot for Caitlin Clark when she scored the most points in NCAA basketball history, and a couple of them hit it. And in fact, one guy on their team made it twice. That's had over like 300,000 views on Twitter. That's something you could go viral for if you're knocking in that logo 3 from Caitlin Clark. Backdoor cut, Langsy had an open look, and then he kicked it out of bounds as he was tripped inside. No foul. It'll go back to Graceland.
And Langsy just couldn't quite keep the handle there and dribbled off his own foot, and Graceland another chance to score here.
Pass to the left. This is Darius Davis. Talked about him being more of a cutter and a driver. Bowen skips it right inside. Nice little touch pass, and not really a big to big, but it's Bowen to Davis, the 6'5" and 6'4" players combined.
Yeah, what a great shot there from Davis. Caught his defender off guard and puts in the easy flip shot.
Northwestern being pressured. This is exactly what Coach Lawrenson wanted to do. Lawrenson, excuse me. Pass inside, foul called. It's going to be a hold on one of the Yellowjackets. And it's going to go on 22. That's Cole Bowen. Just his first and just the team's first as well.
You can see Graceland going with Cook in the paint to kind of match that size of Van Kalsbeek inside, as they were really getting bullied in there. And so to have a bigger player like that is big for Graceland, as they're not allowing him to post up at all.
Langsy had another clean look. 3 threes right at the top of the key tonight. 2 of them have gone in. That's his first miss from deep as Bowen turns. Good move, but couldn't get it to go. And then Alex Van Kalsbeek pulls it away. Looks like some of his family, Brad and Carolyn Van Kalsbeek, watching from Sioux Falls tonight. Thank you for tuning in. Northwestern tries to make it back-to-back years that they've gone to the Sweet 16, and that's another turnover. Graceland right now, they're creating some of this disruption they talked about on the defensive end.
Yeah, they really like to be aggressive, and they get a lot of their momentum from getting those turnovers. And right now, Graceland is forcing some turnovers on the Raiders, and it's really hurting them, as they were up by 6, and now the Graceland Yellowjackets have a chance to either take the lead or tie.
Bowen catches with his back to the basket. He's a good passer. Was actually only 5'11" as a senior in high school. Grew 6 inches as that drive to the rim by Jai Smith is knocked away. Looked like Van Kalsbeek got an arm on it. Little flip shot from Jesse. Short. Rebound. Pulled down on this side to our left. That's Kevin Cook from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, getting some good minutes here in this first half.
Even though it didn't fall, the pretty footwork there from Jesse Van Kalsbeek, and these brothers are just so talented.
Tough move off glass, Jai Smith. showing a little bit of that strength for a guard.
Absolutely, and he saw a matchup he liked there as he knew Langsy could not guard him inside and gets the easy one, and Jai causing even more disruption.
Smith, a Euro, tried to get to it, slowed down that Euro step and couldn't quite accelerate to the rim on the backside.
And how about Booth there on defense? Got it on the way down. I mean, that's a really tough defensive play. You're already in the air, a really solid Euro step, and still managed to get a hand on the ball. That is a great defensive play from Booth.
Yellowjackets send it up top. They'll try to reset with their offense. They still have more than 20 seconds on the shot clock. Jai Smith, again, thought about a long three. Instead, they'll pass it off to Carson Bush, who spins around, falls away, and somehow got it to go.
And their first lead of the game off that shot right there. What a really pretty shot from Smith.
Alex Van Kalsbeek passes this one off to the right side. Geddes will step back and hit a triple.
And that thing touched the ceiling and fell back down to the rim. A high arcing shot there. Looked pretty in the air and looked pretty going through the net as well.
This Northwestern team, 42% as a team from downtown, as that is another loose pass and it's kicked away. And that actually may have saved Graceland right there. And we will save more of our talking for after this media timeout. It's another turnover, but Graceland right back in this game, down 1 at the under 10 media.
We are champions of character.
Back here in Platt Arena, 19-18 Raiders on top of the Yellowjackets. I want to apologize. I see your comments. I'm trying to pronounce everything correctly here for you guys. Graceland, I've seen it. Graceland. I don't know. I'm doing my best, and I want to continue to make you guys happy at home. So just know I am a Hoosier. I don't always speak the most correct English, but I am doing my best. So I'll continue to work on that. If you guys want to spell it out, just tell me how it goes. Just say Graceland, my guy. No space. Okay, you got it. I'll do it. Just want to make everyone happy. You know, Ryan? That's all we want to do here on FDN Sports.
Absolutely. Provide a quality
I just saw
broadcast
someone
for
else
fans.
say Graceland, you know, spelling it out. So
Yeah.
back in action, Northwestern with the ball. Langsy gets an easy look, and he's fouled on his way. So not the three that he usually makes, but a chance for three at the line.
And, I mean, like you said, had a really good chance to win Freshman Player of the Year in his conference. Didn't win it because his teammate won it, but just an absolute electric guard here for this Raiders offense. And right there, saw the lane, took it, and finished through contact. A really nice finish there for Langsy.
Brian Pitt watching from Cleveland, Ohio, as Langsy misses a rare free throw. Ivy Piper and Ted Van Kalsbeek also watching, uncles of Alex and Jesse. And many more checking in as well. 3-point game as Bowen goes strong, and he returns with another chance with a 3-point play.
And that was a really pretty move. The little jab step, just lost his defender and then just went straight at Langsy. And right there is either Langsy's first or I believe second foul, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe just his first, but still drawing a foul on the defender. Saw a chance to score an easy one, and he takes advantage.
That one's off the mark from Bowen, so he scores the two, couldn't finish the free throw. Bowen this season, 69% free throw shooter, pretty solid from there. Mentioned, I think you guys probably heard this, but he was 5'11" as a senior in high school, grew 6 inches as that's off the mark from Booth. Jesse Van Kalsbeek kept it alive, Graceland threw it right back in. Shot clock resets to 20. Jesse misses an easy one at the rim.
And that is multiple defenders taking turns, all jumping at Jesse there inside. And that's what you have to do against a great interior scorer like Jesse Van Kalsbeek. And the Graceland Yellowjackets get another stop.
Backdoor cut right at the rim, and a blocking foul called on Jesse Van Kalsbeek. Think he was probably in the restricted area, and that's what got the whistle.
Yeah, you can see right there the back of his heel just slightly in that restricted zone. It doesn't matter if it's just a toe or just the hair of your foot that's in the restricted zone. If you are even slightly in that zone, that is a defensive foul.
So Graceland a chance to tie this one up at 21 with number 21 at the line. IJ Wiley from Omaha, Nebraska. He's been a good player for him, averaged right around 10.4 points per game. And that was a rare 2 from him. Actually, 200 shots on the year coming in, 112 of them from 3. So turned into a cutter. And sometimes in games like this, you got to play outside of what's comfortable to help your team out. He's doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. He is very good on offense for this team, a reliable scoring option most nights, and they're looking to him, and he has a tough matchup here against Jesse.
Swing pass, Booth had an opening. Langsy cuts inside, skips it over to LaFave, who goes back to the basket. Bowen with good defense. Hand off, Booth inside, knocked away. Last touch by Graceland. And the Yellowjackets will not get the ball back, but man, 6 seconds on the shot clock. Really good defensive possession so far.
Yeah, they're making life hard on the Van Kalsbeek brothers as they were getting way too many easy looks right at the rim earlier in the game. So they're trying to make their life harder, make them have some tough catches, and right there, once they get that inside positioning, that's just too easy.
It's the footwork there and the strength, able to catch, keep that pivot foot down, spin back to his left and score. When he gets that deep, it's just hard to stop him. Bowen won't take a ton of threes. Passes out to Wiley, who will. And now Bowen gets an open look, tosses one up from the corner, and puts Graceland back in front.
And Bowen, he is their leading scorer for a reason, already up to 9, leading the way for Graceland. And he is looking to make an impact and you know, put his mark on this tournament.
Alex Van Kalsbeek was physical inside. Defender looked like he could have been called for a foul, but he threw it out of bounds, and now it's back to Graceland.
And I think the reason they didn't call the foul there was because of the way Alex went about going into it. It looked like he threw his arms into the arms of the defender trying to draw that contact, and you can't do that. You really can't do that as an offensive player.
So it'll be a 30-second timeout. It's not a media yet. I think that Northwestern maybe thought they could take a seat, but just a 30-second timeout. You see some of the fans here in Platt Arena, some of our game day staff, athletic director Lori Kohler chatting it up with Joe Grogg, who at one point was an assistant coach for Tom Izzo. So he's got a great connection to Tom Izzo, the man in the middle there. And of course, Michigan State winning the Big Ten this year. You Iowa fans, I don't know if you guys also watched the Hawkeyes, but of course, their head coach, Fran McCaffrey, got thrown out last night, ended their season. Always a firecracker. It's a long drive for both these schools, and that's why you're seeing a lot of these fans checking in here tonight as continue to build on our viewership, and hope you guys are enjoying wherever you're watching as Wiley shoots a tray. That's long, and Langsy able to run it down for Northwestern. Booth to Jesse Van Kalsbeek, who puts it on the floor. Good defense again by this Graceland team. Langsy will fire. He's got 3 threes.
And Langsy is on fire right now for Northwestern, up to 11 points, leading all scores in the game, and someone has got to cool him down from 3, otherwise Northwestern could run away with this one.
That is another bad pass, this time by Brown. There's just been too many of those here in the early going. And really, for Graceland, they're probably lucky to only be down by 2 because they've shot it well, but 6 turnovers here already in this first half.
And this game may come down to who just turns the ball over the least, because so far both teams, the reason it's close is both teams are turning the ball over a lot. As you see right there on cue, another turnover by Northwestern. Which team can stop turning the ball over may decide the winner.
Lamberth Passes over, Darius Davis got stopped by Jesse Van Kalsbeek. Good defense by the big fella. And now Lamberth has it back. Bowen to Lamberth, the lefty guard, going back to the basket. They're gonna have to take a shot here quick. 7 on the shot clock. Drive inside, Darius Davis, backdoor cut, Lamberth couldn't get it to go right before the clock expires.
And that was because of the defensive pressure that Alex Van Kalsbeek put there on the finisher. That was a great moment of help defense from Van Kalsbeek, and what a cut and what a finish there by Lefebvre.
Lefebvre gets his name etched into the score sheet, his first 2 with a backdoor dunk. Just his second shot of the night. He's one of those guys that doesn't always score a ton, but at 8 points per game, he's just another really good piece of this puzzle for Northwestern. Wiley fires again. Might have had that tipped off the shot, and Booth able to grab it. Northwestern's pace continuing to go here as Jesse misses one right at the rim. It's been a couple of looks by Northwestern that haven't gone in, and there's been pretty good looks for these guys. Brown now looking for his third 3. That's off the mark.
Looks like he's trying to have a shoot-off with Langsy right now, and both very capable three-point shooters for both teams. But like you said, a couple of easy ones for Northwestern not falling. Jesse missing a couple of easy ones at the rim, and I mean, that's the shot he wants, and right there, too easy. There, he gave him the inside lane, and he took full advantage of it.
So right back to it goes Jesse. He missed the last one, but he got that one to go. As the Van Kalsbeek brother right now really putting on a show. Davis again inside. He needs to stay aggressive because he's been good going downhill.
And the biggest thing for him is he is such a big guard. He's big, he's physical, he's tall, he has a long wingspan, can finish really well. And speaking of finishing well, Jesse Van Kalsbeek had dunked there on the drive, but they really need to see, like you said, Davis driving to the rim more here, as he's really been effective from there.
Bowen back to the basket, Wiley, and now Bowen again will fire his second 3. That's way short, and it's out of play. And that takes us to our under 5 media timeout. Northwestern on a little run. They're up 6 with 3:54 left in the first half. Check us out on FDN Sports, at FDN Sports on Instagram. We're going to be doing some hype videos for this game as well. You can see this one from Huntington's win in the first game here in the round of 64. We'll also cover some hype videos for these two teams as well, and hopefully have some footage out here before halftime and throughout the rest of this game. But FDN Sports, of course, stands for the Forrester Digital Network. This is an all-student staff tonight, besides myself and the producer, Adam Widener, who's, of course, a professor here. He leads the ship. He kind of leads everyone in the right direction. He's doing a great job tonight. So are all the students, including you, Ryan, hopping on the headset for what is the first national tournament game in Huntington, Indiana.
Yeah, a huge deal here to be able to host these big national tournament games in the newly renovated Platt Arena. Is just an awesome chance for the school, for the Forrester Digital Network, and for the students and faculty here to just kind of experience the national basketball tournament at the stage here on campus.
6-point lead, Alex Van Kalsbeek, he has 6. Jesse has 12. Those two have already combined for 18. Van Kalsbeek now has 6, I should say. Had 4 before that.
You're just predicting the future, because once he gets the ball, he almost always puts it in the basket.
Graceland needs to stop right now. They need to get this offense going as well. Steal by Lefebvre. He's had 1 dunk. tries rising up. Looked like he got hit, but scores in transition. That makes it a 10-point lead.
And Northwestern, their offense is really starting to pile the lead up here on Graceland, and a questionable foul call on defensive. Maybe didn't get into defensive positioning in enough time, and Graceland spends no time in getting Bowen right back into this game for a substitution.
Yeah, looked like the Northwestern bench wanted a travel, and it looks like it could have been, but that slick floor, once again, playing a little bit of a factor here in this first half. We've seen it a few times.
It is Yellowjackets ball out of bounds in front of it.
Brown, they'll come and get it off of the side out. Bowen goes hard to the rim. Another tough drive. He is relentless when he gets into the lane. Graceland's got a player behind the play. Van Kalsbeek blocked at the rim, and Bowen's going to be called for a whistle. And it looks like it's Kevin Cook all the way behind the play right now, and I don't see what happened.
Something may have happened, maybe a rolled an ankle or something.
No one's going to check on him, and the refs don't even realize there's a player behind the play.
Maybe something with his head. It looks like he's kind of holding his head a little bit.
I don't know if we're going to have to come and look at this as well. It looks like they are going to come review that last play. So we are going to take a break, allow the refs to take a look at this, and then we'll let you know what's going on. All right, so they just wanted to make sure what happened behind the play. Kevin Cook did catch, it looked like an open hand or an elbow, but it was an incidental basketball play going for a potential missed shot. So now it'll be Alex Van Kalsbeek at the line, where he has been really efficient, 81%. You know, Van Kalsbeek, 16 games of 20+. Every game he's been in, he has had double-digit scoring. Second-team All-American last year. And before that, he was an All-American as a second team in 21-22. First team GPAC, he's won a GPAC Player of the Year. Averages over 21 points per game in his career. Really a special talent.
Yeah, and he's already had his mark on his game. His brothers, they had a little bit more contribution so far, but he is doing all the little things. And once he gets that inside positioning, he has shown to be unstoppable in there.
Langzy lobs it off the glass, missed it. Looked like he was trying to push that one to Van Kalsbeek at first, but decided to shoot it himself. Drive inside, Smith kept his footing and a foul called. We'll see which Raider gets this one. And it's Langzy who's called for the personal.
Yeah, I got the arm there of Jai, and that's the correct call. And they have, at any time that they see Langzy inside, they instantly take it at him. Obviously one of the smaller guards on this Northwestern team, so smart game plan from Graceland, trying to get a little momentum here.
Jai Smith knocks in that first one. I want to say hello to Becky, who's watching the Raiders play on her way back home from her hometown MOC FV State High School Championship game with a win. Now she's hoping for a Raiders win. So thanks for tuning in. and checking out this game tonight on FDN Sports. Of course, you can follow us on Instagram, and you can follow us again tomorrow if your team's playing in it, Graceland or Northwestern. 9-point lead for the Red Raiders outside. 1-3 already for Geddes. He'll pass it off to Alex Van Kalsbeek, who will spin, go strong to the rim, and force that one in.
And there is nothing Lamberth can do in that situation. Someone's got to bring the help defense over, because you saw with little time on the clock, he just walked him into the paint and scored with ease. He is such a talented player. Lamberth is going to need some help down there.
Nothing going right now, so Brown shoots another three. That's short. And Graceland starting to get in a little bit of a dangerous zone here in this first half. LaFave will drive, hands it off to Van Kalsbeek. Alex is dominating right now, falls away and rattles another one in.
Yeah, Van Kalsbeek brothers have combined for 24 points, 5 points off of all of the scoring for Graceland, and right now they have to find some kind of offensive rhythm or defensive rhythm to stop them.
Three ball on the way and in. That stops the run as Carson Bush has knocked in 2 triples.
And they need those open threes to go down right there. Missed a couple, which then Northwestern came and answered with a bucket on the other end. They have to get some scoring going here.
Geddes passes it to Booth. Nice catch right here in front of us. LaFave looking to lob it in. Said he'll take it himself. He was blocked at the rim by Darius Davis.
And even though Darius Davis may not be the tallest guy on the floor, he really can affect players' abilities to finish around the rim with his wingspan and jumping ability. And he really has been an important player for this Graceland team here early.
It's a 10-point lead for the Red Raiders. They're trying to expand that here right before the halftime break. 6 versus 11 seed. Northwestern at 25-5. Being efficient here offensively tonight at 62%. Big reason why. Alex Van Kalsbeek tried to force that one up. Loose ball, and it's a shot clock violation. And there's 6.6 seconds remaining.
And that was tremendous defense right there. I mean, Alex Van Kalsbeek got exactly where he wanted to go, right at the rim, but I mean, Lambert trying to hold his own, was able to do so there, and Graceland a chance to maybe cut this to a single-digit lead before heading into the break.
They're trying to decide how much time should go back on the clock. 6.6 seconds, and it looks like that's what they're going to stick with. Carson Bush going to call a timeout, and the clock ran 1 second off. Right now we're having some sort of clock issues, but it'll be 5.6 seconds left, and it will be Graceland's basketball. It kind of feels like a big possession in this game. You cut this within 10. Sometimes you look, there's a feigning like, if we can get this under 10 before the half, you feel a little better.
Absolutely. I mean, any team will always feel better if you're only trailing around single digits. Very disheartening when you're down double digits in especially a big game like this. So Graceland trying to get at least one last bucket here.
Assistant coach for Graceland trying to make sure they can get some stat sheets during media. It seems like they're having some troubles with that as well. Trying to work all our magic here tonight, trying to make sure everyone's set and ready to go. You see Northwestern, they brought a really good crowd here all the way from nearly in South Dakota. I mean, it's a long haul, more than a 12-hour drive. They stopped and practiced at Iowa, as we mentioned. They stopped in Iowa City. They've been several different places on their way here, and in many ways, Huntington can relate to that because the last 3 years, Huntington's been a long ways away from home. They've been in Alabama, Louisiana, Arizona last year. So we feel that with this Northwestern team. Brown forces one up before the buzzer and couldn't get it to roll in. And it will be a 42-32 point advantage as we go to the halftime break. We'll take a short break. We'll come back for a stat recap. Graceland will have some work to do in the second half.
Bippa State Bank is a cornerstone of the community. Our banking building blocks were assembled in 1911 and haven't differed much since then. We still stay true to our local roots. aiming to support, uplift, and celebrate the citizens and businesses of Huntington. As proud lenders to and patrons of our local businesses, we make our community an even more prosperous place. And when you support local banking, you play an important role in Huntington's success stories. No matter what financial products you may need, your business is an invaluable opportunity for us to strengthen our relationship with Huntington, which we're fortunate enough to call home. Bippa's State Bank is banking at its best. We believe in community banking.
As the owner of JJ's, I invite you to visit one of our 7 BP convenience stores. And when you do, I expect you will experience hometown excellence in the cleanest and friendliest convenience stores in your community. Please also consider visiting JJ Java for the best cup of coffee in town, or JJ's Pit Stop for a quick, no appointment necessary professional oil change. Also, if you ever need a clean and efficient environment in which to do laundry, JJ's washroom is ready to serve you.
Hello, thank you so much for joining us for our halftime show today. My name is Allie Butts, and I'm a film and TV major here at Huntington. And I am joined with Lily Pryor. She is a ag major here at Huntington. Now let's just kind of start off with what exactly do you do in your major here?
Yeah, so I'm a part of the Hopper Institute of Agricultural Studies, which was started in about 2015. So it's a fairly new program, but an ever-growing program. And my major is agriculture education with a dual major in ag business focused in animal production and communications and public policy. So quite a mouthful, but it's just a portion of what we have here at Huntington. So there's a total of, I think, 6 majors. We focus in animal science, plant science, agronomy, agriculture education, ag business, as well as a dual degree with Purdue in vet nursing.
Yeah, and as you said, it's a new program. So what was it that really kind of got you to come here to Huntington?
Right, so I didn't grow up in agriculture, but from a very early age, I knew that I wanted to go into an agricultural field, and so that was the big thing I was looking for going into college. And so there weren't many schools that offered that in the area. You have some other large schools, but that wasn't exactly the vibe I was looking for. And then I got involved with a summer camp here at Huntington that the ag department put on themselves, and is now a part of some other camps as well here at Huntington. And it was kind of just home. And the big draws were that, like, we had animals on campus, and we have our own research farm and a cattle farm, and so there's all kinds of hands-on opportunities here at Huntington.
Yeah, and for those people that are maybe interested in maybe coming here to Huntington and maybe giving a visit, kind of seeing what that could look like, I mean, you guys go even beyond just what's here on campus. Can you kind of tell me a little bit about what those real-life opportunities are like?
Yeah, so I've had a lot of opportunities off campus to be involved in the agricultural space. And so some of those include internships. Huntington University does a great job kind of equipping you with those connections, but also making you into a leader that's going to make you great in those positions. So I've worked with the Indiana State Fair and their education department. I've worked for Farm Bureau, and then I also did a broadcasting role with National FFA, which was a really great opportunity to get hands-on experience.
Yeah, and I mean, just broadcasting. I mean, a lot of people, I think when they think of ag, they're not really thinking these things like broadcasting, business. I mean, I know on my floor, my Sojo is doing kind of like theology stuff. So can you kind of talk a little bit about what those specific things are kind of like?
Yeah, there's a lot of opportunities. You can focus in that communications or even go into the ministry and missions portion. So there's a very diverse range of things that we have opportunities for, and not only is it the majors, but also the clubs we have on campus. So I'm involved with Farm Bureau, which is, I've worked for them, but there's also a club on campus, and I actually just went to nationals for one of the competitions through that club. And so through Huntington, I've been connected with all these different ways to grow professionally and as a leader and just as a person.
Yeah, and I mean, it shows obviously. And what are you kind of planning to do? You're only a junior, but you already have all this experience so far. Do you have any idea of what you plan on doing after college?
Yeah, so I have a lot of open doors. I can go into traditional education, I can go into non-traditional education, working with the community. I can work for a business. There's all kinds of doors that are open, and that's part of the beauty of Huntington. Is you go to such a small campus, you make all of these connections, and people are begging for you to basically try something new and maybe work for them one day. And so that's the beauty of it. There's lots of open doors, but as you said, I do have one more year here, and so we would love for you to come and visit campus for us. I would love to personally show you around. It's just a great opportunity to kind of see what's available here at Huntington.
Yeah, and obviously we want to open those doors, like you were saying, for all sorts of people out here. So, I mean, coming out here and doing a quick trip, I mean, I'm sure you would just love to be able to give them a visit and show them around and tell them a little bit more in depth about your story. But I mean, for now, I think we want to make sure that you guys are able to get back to the game. Thank you so much for talking with me, Lily.
Thank you.
The game right now is 32-42. Raiders are up, but we'll make sure to catch back with you guys tomorrow. Thank you.
So to begin with, a lot of the campers obviously were a little bit more shy. They didn't know any of us, they didn't know any of the other campers. So we got to watch them come out of their shell, not only with each other, but also with us. And as they came out of their shell, we got to build more and more of a relationship with each other and have more fun. And there was also a lot of activities. For example, one day we did soil ribboning, and you have to get it exactly right in your finger, which is not the easiest thing to do. So watching them learn and keep trying to figure it out until they finally got it was really fun.
Well, I went to the camp last year, the ag camp last year, and it was a great experience. I loved it, and it made me want to come to HU for college, and so I wanted to come back again to see if there was anything else I could learn and just really get the college experience before going to college.
They got to do honey extraction, which is something not many people have ever done. I definitely haven't done it.
We took honey frames and we took a knife and we were cutting off the comb a little bit and trying to like expose the honey into it. So we put 4 frames into this spin thing and we spun it really fast, and it made the honey drip down into this bottom tray. And we took that bottom tray and poured that into buckets. And the buckets had a filter on the top. So we filtered the honey, and from that we put into jars, little bear jars.
I would say it definitely increased my knowledge of ag. We learned a lot of new things this year that I'd never heard of before, and it just really enforced that I really wanted to be an agriculture teacher, and it was just a great experience.
Everything we do here at Huntington, obviously the 3 pillars are Christ, scholarship, and service. So Christ is first and foremost in the university, and that's also through this camp. So every single morning we start with devotions, and it's just opening up with the other counselors, sharing some of their stories and how God worked through their lives, and also the teachers. Everything that they're teaching is from a Christian perspective. So it's so much more than just learning the material. It's how can we glorify God through the material that we're learning and the skills that He has given us to go out and be good stewards of the world that He has given us.
I would definitely recommend this to a friend, especially if they're not really knowing if they want to go into ag or not, because it's a great experience to learn about what it really is. And then if they are really interested in it, then it's really good for them to keep staying interested in it. And I just tell them it's like a really fun experience, has a lot of hands-on activities, and it's a comfortable place.
Back in Platt Arena, it's not as packed this time around, but it's still a great game between the Yellowjackets and the Raiders, the Red Raiders, that is, of Northwestern College. It's Preston Husband, it's Ryan Holzapple, and the better team right now is on top, but we have seen the Yellowjackets go on some runs to make things difficult for Northwestern. We'll see if they can do that again here to start this second half.
Absolutely. And right now, the story of the game for the Raiders are obviously the Van Kalsbeek brothers and their other freshman guard, Langsy. Those three have just been a dynamic trio. They have dominated against this Graceland defense, and Graceland has to find a way to slow down at least one or two of those guys if they're going to get back in this game.
And Bowen had a pretty good first half, but it was spread out from the Yellowjackets as well. They shot 12 of 29 from the field, 4 of 13 from three. Really, a lot of these stats very, very even. It's just that on the other side, the Raiders knocked in 6 more field goals, so there's your difference in that first half. 7 turnovers for the Yellowjackets, 9 for the Red Raiders. Pretty competitive first half. The Yellowjackets had the lead back for a very short stint. They're going to need a big run. They're going to need some of their star players to come up big for them, and we just know how good this Northwestern team is. We've talked about it time in and time out. Coach Corver for Northwestern, he's been at it for a long time. He's won 2 national championships. He's won countless conference championships, and he's got a 2-time All-American along with 2 freshmen that are first-teamers. So he can recruit, he can coach, and he's actually got a little bit of a Huntington connection as well. So back in the early 2000s, his Northwestern teams actually played Huntington University, which is where we are tonight, and the winner of this team will obviously play HU. He coached against Steve Platt and the Huntington Foresters 3 straight years in Branson, Missouri when the national tournament was held there. He's also the uncle of Kyle Korver, so no wonder his team's such a good three-point shooting team. Kyle Korver got it done in the league for quite some time, but some great basketball names with Korver, Alford, and all these different guys. It's just been really cool to watch and see how these coaches go. We're going to send it one more break. We'll come out for the second half. 20 minutes left on the clock between Graceland and Northwestern.
As the owner of JJ's, I invite you to visit one of our 7 BP convenience stores. And when you do, I expect you will experience hometown excellence in the cleanest and friendliest convenience stores in your community. Please also consider visiting JJ Java for the best cup of coffee in town, or JJ's Pit Stop for a quick, no appointment necessary professional oil change. Also, if you ever need a clean and efficient environment in which to do laundry, JJ's washroom is ready to serve you.
Bippa State Bank is a cornerstone of the community. Our banking building blocks were assembled in 1911 and haven't differed much since then. We still stay true to our local roots, aiming to support, uplift, and celebrate the citizens and businesses of Huntington. As proud lenders to and patrons of our local businesses, we make our community an even more prosperous place. And when you support local banking, you play an important role in Huntington's success stories. No matter what financial products you may need, your business is an invaluable opportunity for us to strengthen our relationship with Huntington, which we're fortunate enough to call home. Bippa State Bank is banking at its best. We believe in community banking.
Norm the Forester welcoming you back into Platt Arena on the campus of Huntington University here in Huntington, Indiana. It's Preston Husband, it's Ryan Olsapple, it's the rest of the FDN Sports crew. We love all the comments. Man, you guys are busy on the keyboard over in Iowa or wherever you may be watching tonight. I've seen some New Yorkers tuning in. I've seen people from South Dakota and Iowa, of course. Big fans tonight. I don't know, I'm sure we've got some Huntington fans tuning in as well to see who they might face tomorrow night in the round of 32. Right now, Graceland, they've got some work to do. What do you think they need to do to kind of get back in this game early in this first half?
I really think they need to run their offense through Bowen and try to get him a couple more looks driving into the paint, getting some contact, because that is where he thrives on the offensive end. But I think even more than the offensive end, they really have to lock in on defense and stop one of the Van Kalsbeek brothers and stop Langsy from getting wide open threes, because that has been killing them all game long. Is their one-on-one defense against the Van Kalsbeek brothers is just not working. You have to throw a double team their way, stop their paint presence, and you really have to slow down that duo of brothers if you're going to get back in this game and win.
So 20 minutes left for one of these teams' seasons. The Yellowjackets will be doing their best to kind of battle right back to start this second half, as Bowen will go to Brown. Brown hit a few early threes, cooled off a little bit at the end of that first half. Bowen puts it on the floor, another strong drive. There's Brown. Him and Bowen doing a lot of the ball handling. Late in the shot clock. Bowen gonna have to create something. Brown tried swinging it over to Davis, and this Northwestern team came out of the half, and they're locking up on this first possession.
Yeah, there's just not a real rhythm to this Yellow Jacket offense right now. They're trying to set some screens, they just aren't working. They have to get something up here late in the clock.
There it is, and it's not gonna hit the rim. It's a shot clock violation. The Yellowjackets come out, just could get nothing going against this Northwestern defense.
And Northwestern, not usually known for having, you know, a really solid defense. And most of their success comes from how good of an offensive team they are. But right there, beautiful play. And once again, their offense showing why it's so good with a nice lane to the basket there.
Caleb Booth with an easy look, and now Brown will drive to the rim. He stopped again, hands it off to Davis. Brown fires another triple, in and out. Davis with the board. Bowen, shot fakes, hard drive. And Graceland right now has got to get a good look. Davis double dribbled, and it's another turnover. That's 2 straight for the Yellowjackets right out of the half.
Yeah, and they just really don't look like they know what they want to do out there. And the Raiders are taking full advantage of it, just kind of hounding them on offense, especially when they don't really have a rhythm right now. And they've got to lock in offensively here. Otherwise, this lead's just going to continue to pile on them.
Inside, Jesse Van Kalsbeek, wide open, scores another bucket. That is 2 straight easy looks for Northwestern. Their offense starting to roll. They're up to 46 points. Bowen, hard drive, can't score past LaFave, and he grabs the miss.
And, I mean, that's the look you want there if you're Graceland. I mean, you want Bowen going to the basket, got the look he wanted, just left it a little too long on the rim. And your Raiders, you're feeling pretty good with where you're sitting right now.
Now Alex Van Kalsbeek is fouled on his way. That's Lamberth who picks up the foul. And that's his first. Van Kalsbeek will have a couple of free throws. Alex, couple of dribbles, puts up the first and makes it. Coach Corvery talked to me last night. Actually, I was about to go on a walk on campus with my wife and my 9-month-old baby, and Coach Corver came walking out and said, hey, you want to meet for 5 or 10 minutes? Let's talk about the game tomorrow. He said the reason this team is so efficient and so good offensively, they just share the ball. They're unselfish. They find our shot and not my shot. And we've seen that on display, especially to start here in the second half. Bowen drives baseline, a couple bodies in between, and it's a foul on Kevin Cook, who got tangled with a Northwestern player.
Yeah, and I think you hit it right on the money with they are extremely efficient as a team. They get efficient looks at the rim. I mean, you're bound to be more efficient when all of your shots are coming from inside. I mean, inside looks are always the more efficient shot than a three-point or a mid-range. So the fact that Langsy just a ridiculous fadeaway, but to be that efficient and share the ball with so many unselfish players that are willing to make that extra pass, it really makes it hard on the opposing defense to do anything.
They actually called that last foul on Bowen. He swung his elbow as he now takes a three. That's way off the mark, and Jesse Van Kalsbeek pulls it away. This game could get away from Graceland right now. Jesse spins and scores with the right hand.
And right now, Graceland's just out of sorts. They really don't have a identity on either end, and and right now, Northwestern taking full advantage. It is really hurting this Graceland team.
Looks like Bowen may have lost a little bit of his knee brace, and a timeout's going to be called by Graceland as they need a break. It's going to be a 30-second timeout. It will turn into a media, and we'll go ahead and take it with them. 18-point lead for the Red Raiders.
We are Jack into the character.
Back in Platt Arena, if you are a high schooler and you're interested in coming to college, you can always go to the Huntington University website, check out some Forester camps. You got all kind of different things you can explore here. You can check out our ag department, our film department. You can join the sports type of broadcast that we have, sports production. There's a lot of great things happening here on the campus of Huntington University. I know Iowa and Indiana with the Foresters, obviously big ag states. So a lot of people interested in that. It's a great, great program here at Huntington University.
And if anyone's familiar with our broadcast, you know, a certain personality, Ross Gosnell, is actually going to be one of the people at Forester camps teaching for the radio department.
I did not know that. It's
fun.
good for Ross to be there and do that. LaFave knocked in a three. It's now the largest lead of the night. It's 21. Backdoor cut. Bowen missed one right at the rim. And then Cook is fouled trying to grab the offensive rebound.
And Bowen, he has got to finish that. I mean, that is way too easy. He's missed at least 2 or 3 of those on the game. You can tell he's getting slightly frustrated right now, not really in the offensive rhythm he wants to be in, especially because he wants to will his team out of the hole they've dug themselves into right now. But Cook was able to get the shot back up and draw the foul and put the free throw in.
Cook rolled that one in. Maybe not the most conventional free throw, but does go in. 60% so far this season. Cook's second way up in the air and fighting for it. Davis gets it right back, make it a 3-point possession.
And that is a huge swing right there. It went from a missed layup to free throws into another basket. So that's a nice play from Graceland. Maybe can ride a little momentum from that.
And Kalsbeek, rare triple, has shot around 30 of them this season. Misses that first attempt of the night. Bowen, downhill drive with the right hand, gets it to go.
And like I said, when I was talking about something they could really do better is get Bowen, give it to him while he's on the move, driving into the paint. That is one of his most efficient and high-quality shots he likes to take, and he'll generally make that. So if they can keep going to that, they could really go on a run here.
Here's another turnover, so a chance to cut further into this lead. It's now 16 points for the Red Raiders. Davis, strong to the rim, another bucket. 14-point lead now as Graceland's on a little 6-0 run.
And momentum can change at any point in this game, and right now, Northwestern kind of looks lost against this Graceland defense. They are a little bit of an erratic team.
LaFave to Langsy, who will fire another three and quiet the bench of Graceland to our left.
What a shot. Langsy is just on fire in this game, up to 16 points now on the night and tying for their leading scorer.
Davis trying to get downhill again, passes it over. Bowen finds an open three-point shooter and knocking it in, Aaron James Jr. He's in for the first time tonight, only averages 2.8 points per game.
You know, what's really incredible is his vertical jump, 41 inches. That dude is a high flyer for how, I mean, you wouldn't expect him to be able, I was watching him in pregame and he was dunking like crazy, which you just would not expect, but Graceland trying to get some spark plugs off the bench, and right now, Northwestern's a little scared of the kind of momentum they've built up.
It's a full timeout, still 14-point lead. It'll be Red Raiders free throws when we come back. Welcome back to FDN Sports. We're here in Platt Arena, but you can check out more of our work on FDN Sports. We've actually got a Northwestern hype video up right now. You can see this live. That is Langsy going to the rim with an and one back in the first half. We'll keep you guys updated. You might as well follow if you're a Northwestern or Graceland fan. You might see one of your favorite players or coaches or fans on our Instagram. It's at FDN Sports. Caleb Booth will be at the free throw line. You know, there's a really cool connection between these two coaches. Coach Todd Lorenzen, he was actually recruited by Coach Korver out of high school. So these guys have known each other since Coach Todd was 17 years old. And then, you know, Todd went on. He was a great player. He's been at several different programs. He was in the GPAC for a while, which is the conference, of course, the Northwestern is in. So these two have known each other for a long time. They've got great respect for one another. Bowen is fouled, a trip on Jesse Van Kalsbeek. Foul starting to rack up here a little bit. Just two, I guess, on, looks like.
3 fouls on Jesse Van Kalsbeek now.
Okay, so 2 on Northwestern in the half and 3 on the Yellowjackets. James Jr. again. How about 2 off the bench? We didn't even know his name in the first half, and now he's becoming a star in the second.
Yeah, I mean, 2 threes like that, and what was a 20-point lead down to a 13-point lead, and Northwestern really struggling, and there he is again. Got tripped up by Langsy. That's now Langsy's 3rd foul as well. So now 2 of the best Northwestern players with 3 fouls. They've got to be careful.
That was James Jr. again, diving on the floor. We talked about it. He's only averaging 2.8 points per game. He's had 8 points in 2 different games this season. 9 points is his season high against William Penn. Before tonight, he had played 6 total minutes in the last 3 games. Sometimes, like I said, in March, you just have to have someone unexpected come up big, and that's what's happening.
And sometimes your team is struggling, like you said. Nothing better you can do than just try something new, see if someone else can get something to go.
Back to the rim, Graceland trying to get an open look. Instead, it's another 3. Would have been a big shot, but doesn't fall for Carson Bush.
Yeah, I would have cut it to 10, and Northwestern probably would have had to call another timeout if they hit that shot, and that is a mismatch in the paint.
And Kalsbeek gets right to the rim past Bowen. Looks like we've got another comment. OG Van Kalsbeek, brother, 0913 checking in. How many Van Kalsbeeks are there out there? Man, you guys You guys are all over the place. 3-ball, nowhere near by Jai Smith.
He is not a three-point shooter, so that's why they left him open there. He's probably not the best shot you can take when you're already down and you need shots to go down.
Booth able to pull the handle back in, and now LaFave will start over the offense. About 13 minutes left in this one. Good pass, and Booth rises and scores.
And right now, what they're doing is they're setting these post-ups for Alex Van Kalsbeek. The biggest player on the floor for Graceland right now is Bowen, and he is nowhere near big or strong enough to handle Alex down low. And so they're so worried about that post-up that these cutting lanes are wide open for Northwestern, and Caleb Booth right on cue takes full advantage of it, draws the and one.
Booth, so far this season, averaging 10 points per game. That's 7 for him now to go along with 4 assists, 3 rebounds, and a block. He's skied up there. He's really known as a three-point shooter. Man, showing off some of that athleticism as well. Graceland needs to keep hitting shots to stay in this game. Back to 18. It was as low as 13, and that's not going to help as it's a turnover taken away by Geddes. Van Kalsbeek going right back towards Bowen. Bowen went down to the baseline, and now it's a real mismatch as Van Kalsbeek is fouled now, and a chance for another three-point play.
Yeah, and there is no chance James Jr. can guard that down low, and you could see Van Kalsbeek knew exactly what to do, just put it up and in, plus the contact, and that lead all the way back up to 20 again.
Alex Van Kalsbeek has 18, missed that one short. Just 3 rebounds, but man, for his first game back in a month and a half, he's been playing just like he has all year long. James Jr. looking for his 3rd triple, no good. Booth looking ahead. Left side, Geddes had it knocked away. Loose ball, scrap, and it's going to be the Yellowjackets basketball. I've been told by a source, and tell me if this is right, Northwestern fans, because I don't know for sure. I've never been out there. I've heard their football games get close to 6,000 fans. I heard they pack it out here for Northwestern football. No, I might have to make a trip out there sometime. They've got obviously a great basketball team as well.
It's a great sports school in general. All their athletics teams are always really good.
Bowen thought he was bumped, and Coach Todd Lorenzen not happy with that. He thought he was fouled. 20-point game, 12 minutes left. Booth, able to keep the dribble. LaFave thought about a triple. This is what this Northwestern team does, moving back and forth, trying to get an easy look, and Geddes gets one at the end.
They have the largest lead of the game now at 22, and Graceland, after really finding a little bit of fire there halfway through, they started getting some momentum. They've lost all of it, and the Raiders have taken full advantage of it.
So Bowen will head to the free throw line as that's a foul on, looked to be new player in the game. That's number 25, Grant Tigas. Shot up and in. So Alex is currently playing with an incompletely healed fractured metatarsal. Not a doctor, but I believe that means a toe, correct?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I do have some friends that are pre-med, but one of the Van Kalsbeek brother, which by the way, there's 4 of them, Justin Van Kalsbeek, he says still holds the title of one-on-one in barn basketball. I'm sure those were some dog fights, probably some broken noses involved as well, not just toes. Alex has it now. Van Kalsbeek spins baseline and knocks it off his own left hand.
That was a really nice spin move there, just couldn't hold on to it. Lost his defender, and Graceland has to take advantage of opportunities like that. You have to score points off of these turnovers, because if they have scored a lot off of those Northwestern turnovers, this game might be a little closer than it is right now.
There is Davis, doubled, has to spin it up top, caught up there by Bush, who will now spin to his right, floats one over the top. Tough 12-footer.
That was a really nice shot. Spin move gave him the separation he needed for the easy 2. And Bush puts in a much-needed basket for the Yellowjackets.
Alex Van Kalsbeek Outside to another three-point shooter. That's way short. Don't think it was tipped, and it wasn't, as Geddes left it that short as a 42% three-point shooter.
And not a normal thing to see such a high percentage shooter airball a three-pointer, but closeout was just enough to make him overthink the shot, and Graceland a chance to cut into this lead just a little bit more, chip away at it.
Bush looking for a cutter. It's Brown, who's been on the bench for a long time in this second half. Skips it back out to Bush. Bowen, the 3Bs, connect for a three.
And he needs that one, and I see what you did there. But yeah, that is a huge shot for the Yellowjackets. Provide a little bit of a buzz for their team, if you will.
69-54. Swing pass. Northwestern going deeper in their bench, and right at the rim, another and one opportunity. Coming in, and haven't seen Case and Bailey all night, but welcome to the game.
Yeah, that is probably the way to make your introduction into this ball game. Get an and one in your first play in. Really nice drive there. Adjusted around the defenders to make that. I mean, that was a tough shot.
That one's off the mark. Brown with another rebound. Still within range, but the Yellowjackets will obviously need a big run here. 17-point deficit, less than 10 minutes left. Brown trying to cut in, way off the mark. And that is rebounded once again by Bailey. Bailey's played in 29 games this year, 8.3 minutes per game. Season high 7 points. 1 point in his last 4 games, so he's already got more than that. And that will take us to another media timeout. Less than 10 left. Northwestern trying to seal a spot in the round of 32 tomorrow against Huntington.
I can't talk, I have a showing.
Listen.
My clients are arriving any minute.
Eleanor. Mom passed.
I think it'd be best if you all go to hotels, for Dad's sake.
I didn't get to say goodbye.
You said goodbye when you never came home.
.39 left here in our second game at Platt Arena tonight in Huntington, Indiana. Assuming a lot of these schools didn't know where Huntington, Indiana was before they came here, and that's completely fair. Small town, of course, but man, we're enjoying hosting Northwestern here tonight. Of course, the Yellowjackets as well from Graceland, both teams from Iowa. You've had Lourdes, who was defeated by Huntington from Ohio, so it's just been a great place. Of course, named after the legendary coach here, Steve Platt. Awesome man of faith, and you know, knew Coach Corver, obviously, from all those matchups. Just a tremendous place for basketball. And the state of Indiana, of course, great place of basketball. Of course, maybe, unless you're an IU Hoosier fan, it's been a little rough as of late. But, man, these two teams are bringing it right now as LaFave is blocked from behind. Bowen has another rebound, which is his 5th. Bounce pass, good one inside to Darius Davis. Strong move again with the left. He is tough inside.
And that's where he does all his work. I mean, you'd expect with maybe his height that he would be more of a perimeter or a mid-range shooter, but no, he likes to get inside, uses wide shoulders and nice wingspan to get those easy ones inside. And Jesse, not the greatest shot there, and Graceland a chance to cut in the lead once again.
James Jr. using that speed, had an open Lamberth who dropped it. And now Langsy, who's back in, runs the other way and finds an open cutter, and that leads to an open layup on the other side for Connor Geddes.
That's just an unfortunate turnover there for Graceland. Looked like they had a chance for maybe an easy lane and turn it over, and that's a 4-point swing.
Carla and Gary Van Kalsbeek watching as well. Hello from Orange City as they're tuning in tonight. Of course, all kind of Van Kalsbeek in the chats here tonight. I'm sure they're missing not being here, but I hope that you guys have enjoyed tonight. If you guys have any tips for us, Northwestern fan, it looks like your team might be in action again tomorrow. Let us know. We'd love to listen to your input. I'm always a student of broadcasting and want to know if you guys have enjoyed it or what we can work on. Brown swings it out to Davis. Back inside, Smith has been quiet until now. A chance for a three-point play.
That was a really nice shot, and I believe that's the 4th foul on Jesse Van Kalsbeek, and that is indeed his 4th foul. Now his brother has to come in for him as he's been in foul trouble most of the night.
So Jesse Van Kalsbeek will go out with the 4 fouls. Alex coming back in. And a change as James Jr. comes out. Kevin Cook comes in to add some of that size to counteract Alex Van Kalsbeek. Both of these schools, Northwestern and Huntington, both their women's team in action in the national tournament as well. Huntington's women's team, I got a score update there. They're up 11 with 7:30 left. They're a 12 seed, taking on LSU Shaysport out in Iowa territory, Hastings, Nebraska. So out west with you guys. 14-point lead, 8 minutes left. Langsy stops, pops, can't get it to go. And now Bowen, point forward, pushing the pace. Looking for an option. It's Brown trying to get another open three. It's blocked by Lefebvre, who's been a part of a lot of the action tonight.
He has been their main defender on a lot of their guards, and he's really held his own.
And now Brown knocks that out of play as there's 7:36 left, 14 points to make up for the Yellowjackets.
They really have to lock in here defensively if they want any chance of coming back in this game. They've got to get some stops and get some makes on the offensive end as well, but it starts right here on the defensive end.
Lefebvre, Kalsbeek, and now Langsy looking for an option. Lefebvre throws it too fast, and a whistle comes in on Kevin Cook. If that were a pass interference call, that might have been uncatchable. That pass had a lot of zip on it.
Yeah, it did.
They're saying it's the 1-and-1, but it's only the 6-team foul. No, it should be 6-team fouls. Okay. So it is the 1-and-1. Van Kalsbeek will be at the line, and he makes the first, so he will have the second. .724, Van Kalsbeek will have a second one going. For any Crossroads League fan, which is Huntington's conference, and I know not many of you are, but the Crossroads League went undefeated tonight, 6-0. All the teams in Huntington's league moving on tonight. St. Francis just finished that up. And that could be a potential team that this Northwestern or Huntington team plays, depending on who moves on. Graceland not done yet as that floater is too strong by Smith. Gets it back, strong move. Third try, no good. And Lefebvre able to pull it away.
And so many chances there to put the ball in the basket, just could not take the lid off the rim. And Northwestern chance to extend the lead with a 3 here, and it goes in.
Van Kalsbeek maybe putting this one out of reach. 35% from 3 on the year. As mentioned, just does not shoot a ton of them. He's had as many as 52 in a game, which is a school record last season. And a bucket for Kevin Cook, who answers right back. Van Kalsbeek, left side, Geddes uses the screen. Alex thought about another. Now we'll take a long 2, short, but it rolls in.
What a shot, and with the clock starting to trickle down here, Yellowjackets have to get stops. This trading buckets just won't work in their favor if they want to come back in this game.
Smith for 3, short, fighting for it, Cook, and it's last touched by Graceland, they will say, as there's 6:06 left. James Jr. is going to come back in. Yeah, Graceland needs to make a sub. And I don't think the refs were aware that Jai wasn't quite out of the game yet. He'll take a seat. And with 6:05 on the clock, they'll reset the shot clock, and we're ready to roll.
And then you think with a bucket here, Northwestern might just put this one out of reach.
Booth to Langsy. Will drive left, floats it up, and somehow got it to go. He is a good guard.
And these guys have kept this Northwestern team ahead all night long, and Graceland has really just had no answer for them, and that's been their biggest problem.
Kevin Cook floats it up. I've been told Northwestern Stadium probably only holds 3,000, so my source was wrong. Not quite 6K. 6K in spirit, though. I'd like to hear that. And Kalsbeek back to the basket. He's got 25, and he's working on more. Fall away from Cook. Little Dirk Nowitzki, no good. Kind of likes that little fall away shot. Brown puts it on the hardwood. Bowen wide open for 2.
Right now, you gotta think that the threes starting needing to be thrown up here for Graceland. They want a chance to come back here. They gotta get stops and make some threes.
Langsy fouled. It looked like Davis got the arm, and that will allow us to go to our final media timeout. 82-65 Northwestern, trying to go to the round of 32 tomorrow at Platt Arena. Back at Platt Arena here on FDN Sports. We've had a lot of FDN Sports action today. We had 2 baseball games earlier that were on the air, 2 basketball games now. Baseball's canceled tomorrow, and we'll just have 1 basketball game in Platt Arena. That's okay. This is my 3rd call of the day. I'm not ready to go home because I love this, but man, I could use some dinner at least. You know what I'm saying? Hospitality room behind us. Barbecue, if we can stop in there afterwards, or wings, etc. down the road.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I know none of you guys care about that, but it's been a long day, but this is awesome. This is super, super fun. And I'm also being told by a producer we also streamed to chapel as well, so got a little church in there as well here on Huntington University's campus. Excellent job, as always, by Adam in the back, all of our students. Like I said, Adam and I, we're the only non-students on this broadcast. This is students giving away their weekend. Not all of them are huge sports fans, you know.
Yeah.
They're part of the film program here, but they're bringing all the action because we want you guys to enjoy it. Dylan Grover, he's been in the chat all night. He's a funny guy. He does care about my hunger. I appreciate that, Dylan. You can make it to Huntington in less than an hour. You can come to Wings, etc., and I'll buy your dinner.
You'd have to fly over here to get here in an hour.
Langsy knocks in the first. Of course, is such a great three-point shooter, but also does this very well. 94.3%, the southpaw.
And such an impressive rookie for this team, and man, he is really just so impactful and important to what this Northwestern Raiders team can do. And he's looking to kind of make a statement here in this first game and carry this momentum into their game against Huntington tomorrow, which is looking more likely as the seconds go by.
Langsy being hounded, slows it down, finds LaFave. Tough move and a tough 2 for Jesse Van Kalsbeek this time. He's got a chance for a three-point play.
And Jesse's been doing that all night, finishing inside over the smaller defenders, and they've really been able to use their size inside all night long, really. There just really isn't as much length and height on this Graceland team to be able to combat, you know, two two large 6'6" brothers who just know how to use their bodies to get exactly where they want to go inside.
27 for Jesse, and Bowen responds with a 2 and a 3-point opportunity of his own. The Van Kalsbeek brothers have just dominated tonight. You see Jesse doing it, we see Alex doing it, but Langsy's in there with 18. It's been really the 3 stars for Northwestern that have led the way. Bowen's having a great game though as well. He's got 21 and 5 with 2 assists as well. Been told the Van Kalsbeek's high school MOCFV won a state championship today as well. That's a big reason why their broadcaster for Northwestern couldn't come along.
Yeah.
And I hope he's tuned. I can't remember his name. Coach Corver was telling me a little bit about him. He's been doing it for 26 years, as long as Coach Corver's been at Northwestern. Shot short by Langsy, but a cutting Van Kalsbeek tried to put Davis on a poster.
Yeah, and right now, Jesse is kind of imposing his will here, trying to just, you know, destroy any kind of hope that this Yellow Jacket team has of coming back in this game. And with only 3:54 remaining, they may have already punched their ticket to facing Huntington tomorrow.
And Kalsbeek knocks in another free throw. It's just his second of the game. He's up to 20 points, 9 rebounds. That is right around what he averages on the season. GPAC Freshman of the Year. And can't complete the second one as it rattles in and out. Brown surveying, finds Bowen. Those two have been a real bright spot as Bowen continues to have a great game. Just not enough from the rest of the cast here tonight.
Yeah, he's really had the offensive load on his shoulders, and no one else has been able to help him carry it. And that's really been the difference. Is there's been 3 offensive great players for Northwestern, only 1 for Graceland, and it shows in the score right now.
Doug Broick, hope I'm saying that right. He's a broadcaster for the Raiders. He broadcasts on KSOU Radio. Does a great job. I've heard that, and I hope he's watching tonight and enjoying his Northwestern Red Raiders team. Been doing it as long as Coach Corver's been coach. So they've been together a lot over the years, and I just think that's so cool when someone can stick around. I'm only in year 3 here at Huntington, but I wouldn't mind sticking around for 23 more. Been quite fun. Everyone loves him at Northwestern. That's awesome. Doug, I hope you're tuning in. Hope you're enjoying the game tonight. Fortunately, he was calling all those state championship games in Iowa.
Yeah.
Coach Corver said there's about 4 high schools all within a 30-mile radius, and they're all in the state finals. So good basketball out there. James Jr. looking for another triple off the mark. Jesse Van Kalsbeek now has a double-double with his 10th board.
And, I mean, with Northwestern moving on here, obviously facing the home crowd favorite Huntington Foresters tomorrow at 6 here on FDN Sports. It'll really be an interesting matchup. I mean, you see the dominance inside from people like, you know, from the Van Kalsbeek brothers. Then you have Langsy, who's really dominating from 3. How they're going to deal with the defensive pressure that HU brings. HU scouting out Northwestern right now in the bleachers. And it'll be really interesting to watch this matchup.
Another triple as Northwestern is pulled away. They're up 25. They're over their season average, 95 points now. And Huntington will be facing Northwestern, it looks like, with just 2:30 remaining. James Jr. keeps it going strong. Gaddis with the rebound. And I think Coach Corver wants to bring it over and call a timeout, get some of his other guys in the game. A dominant second half for Coach Corver's side. He will take what looks to be a full timeout. We'll take one more with him. 2:13 left, 25-point lead for the Red Raiders. shot of Chase Verba, Huntington University Hall of Famer. Hello, Chase. What's going on? Jared Yock, his dad Joe in town. Has been on FDN Sports. There's Joe. What's going on, Joe? Coach Corey Alford, Steve Alford, Alex Dolly, the whole fam in town, taking in some Northwestern Graceland basketball. Some great shots by our crew here tonight. Fall away, tough too, no good. And Northwestern player down injured, did not look good there at the end of that from Kason Bailey as he hobbles down the other way. James Jr. responds.
Yeah, it looked like he landed on the foot of a defender, and never want to see that in sports. That's always a tough thing. I mean, see what happens here. I'm sure they'll pull it up on replay, but tough break there for Bailey, trying to get some more playing time in this game, but he's going to have to go to the back.
You know, Steve Alford, his Nevada team finished up their season last night. He just won his 700th game. He started his career at Manchester, so kind of see the relation there with Corey. Corey just went over 100 this year. Kind of cool to see Corey become a really good coach. Not just saying that because he can hear us in the booth either. Tough too, right around the free throw line is good. Off the bench, knocking that one in. Mason Gerleman. Obviously doesn't get a ton of opportunities. That's his first 2 points of the season. Long three on the way from Graceland is no good. 1:17 remaining, 24-point lead. It will be Northwestern and Huntington in the round of 32 inside Platt Arena. It looks dead right now, but it'll be rocking here tomorrow night.
Absolutely, and Northwestern, I mean, they're known for their offensive efficiency. They're on the verge of 100 points, showing just how good they are on the offensive end here.
Block shot, 50 seconds remaining. Both teams going to some of their bench guys at the moment. Western looking to get someone else involved. Little Euro step through the lane. Gerleman has 4 points.
That was a really nice move. The Northwestern bench really like that move. I mean, you always love when your bench player comes in, makes a nice move, and scores, and had the entire team hyped up for that one.
Tigas will check out of the game. Graceland now, maybe last shot of the game is too strong. Rebounded on the other side by Nathan Cool, Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Only played a few games this season, getting a chance to play in the NAIA National Tournament. Northwestern's hopes to go to back-to-back Sweet 16s live on. They'll have to face the hosts, Huntington University Foresters. We might have Coach Korver joining us for a post-game interview. We'll see if he's up for it and talk about his team's success tonight. Obviously, having Alex Van Kalsbeek back in the lineup is always helpful, but it was a group effort. They had so many players throw in points, rebounds, assists, blocks, steals, anything you could chalk on the box score. They've done that tonight.
Absolutely. It was a complete team game for Northwestern. Everyone contributed in a big way. All played huge, especially the brothers, like you said, having Alex back. The Van Kalsbeek brothers just absolutely dominated inside tonight, and they really made Graceland's defense work all game.
Northwestern finishes the game shooting 64.4%, 8 of 15 from three, knocked in 15 of 19 from the free throw line. They're, of course, led by Alex Van Kalsbeek, who had 27 points. Jesse, his younger brother, not too bad either, 22 points on 10 of 15. I think we'll skip out on the Coach Korver interview, but whoever the winning coach is following the game tomorrow will actually take that winning coach right out onto center court, and we will interview the coach, in front of the entire arena, pump that audio into Platt Arena.
Yeah.
As you see Northwestern here stamping their way to the round of 32. They'll take on the Huntington Foresters. Winning is nothing new for these guys. They've been doing it for a long time. Coach Korver, one of the best in the entire country.
Absolutely. It was a complete team effort, and I'm really excited to see this matchup with the Forster Bigs and this whole Northwestern team. It'll be a lot of fun, and of course you can catch it tomorrow at 6 p.m. here inside Platt Arena or on YouTube at Forster Digital Network.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in wherever you may be watching tonight. Graceland Northwestern fans, we'll talk to the Red Raider fans again tomorrow. You guys have all been great, and we're expecting a great game tomorrow between the Huntington Foresters and the Northwestern College Red Raiders. It's Preston Husband, Ryan Holzapple, the rest of the FDN Sports crew. We look forward to talking to you all tomorrow.
Catch and fire. It's on the. He made it! Oh,